Today's story is about Luna Sparklepaws, the celestial sentinel. The brass nameplate beside the observatory door read, Dr. Edmund Starcross, Fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society. But those who knew the distinguished astronomer understood that his most loyal research assistant was never listed in any academic records. Luna Sparklepaws, a medium-sized dog with expressive dark eyes and distinctive purple-tinged fur, had been Dr. Starcross's faithful companion for 7 years, and her patient, devoted nature made her perfectly suited to the long nights of stargazing that consumed the Victorian scientist's existence. Dr. Starcross had discovered Luna as a puppy, abandoned near the Greenwich Observatory during a particularly cold winter night in 1884. She had been huddled beneath a fallen meteorite that had landed in the observatory's garden, an auspicious beginning that seemed to foreshadow her destiny among the stars. From her earliest days, Luna displayed an unusual fascination with celestial phenomena that went far beyond typical canine curiosity. While other dogs might be content to chase balls or dig in gardens, Luna was drawn to the telescope room with an almost mystical pull. She would settle herself on a thick carpet that Dr. Starcross had placed beside his various instruments, lying with perfect stillness for hours while he conducted his observations. Her bright eyes would follow the movements of his work with remarkable attention, and during lunar eclipses she would remain motionless for the entire duration, her gaze fixed on the darkening moon, as if she could sense the cosmic forces at play. Dr. Starcross's colleagues initially dismissed Luna as a charming pet, but they soon began to notice her extraordinary behavior during their evening observations. She seemed to sense astronomical events before they occurred, becoming restless and whining softly on nights when unexpected meteor showers would appear, or positioning herself beside specific instruments just before particularly clear viewing conditions materialized. Her presence became such a reliable indicator of optimal observing weather that several visiting astronomers began planning their research visits around Luna's behavioral patterns. The dog's most remarkable trait was her apparent ability to detect celestial bodies that were invisible to the naked eye. Dr. Starcross first noticed this during his observations of Jupiter's moons, when Luna would orient herself toward the planet's position even when clouds obscured the view entirely. On one memorable occasion, she gently tugged at his coat sleeve with her teeth and led him to his telescope, sitting pointedly beside the instrument until he positioned it exactly where she indicated, revealing a previously uncatalogued double star system that became the subject of his most celebrated research paper. Dr. Starcross began keeping detailed records of Luna's astronomical behaviors, noting correlations between her actions and subsequent celestial discoveries. His journals from this period read like a fascinating blend of scientific observation and mystical wonder. Luna positioned herself beside the lunar telescope precisely 37 minutes before the appearance of an unusual blue-tinged meteor. Her ears perked forward during the event, and she remained perfectly still until the object disappeared beyond the horizon. The bond between astronomer and canine grew stronger with each passing season. Dr. Starcross found himself consulting Luna's instincts before making major observational decisions, and she seemed to understand the importance of their shared work. During long winter nights, when temperatures dropped below freezing, she would curl up beside the heating apparatus that warmed the telescope mechanisms, ensuring that both instruments and astronomer remained functional for extended observation sessions. Luna's favorite spot was on a thick rug positioned directly beneath a skylight that featured an etched glass design of a tree crowned by a crescent moon, a decorative element that had come with the observatory when Dr. Starcross inherited it from his predecessor. From this vantage point, she could observe both the night sky and her human companion's work simultaneously, her faithful presence providing comfort during the long, solitary hours of scientific research. The fateful night of November 13th, 1891, began like many others. Dr. Starcross had received reports from astronomical societies across Europe describing unusual auroral activity that seemed to be moving southward from the Arctic regions. Unlike typical aurora borealis displays, witnesses described this phenomenon as distinctly purple in coloration, with an almost liquid quality to its movements across the sky. At precisely 11:23 p.m., the great aurora of 1891 burst across the sky in a display of such magnificent beauty that Dr. Starcross abandoned his careful note-taking and simply stared in wonder. Purple curtains of light danced overhead, forming patterns that seemed almost too organized to be natural phenomena. The aurora appeared to pulse with a rhythm that reminded Dr. Starcross of a massive heartbeat, and the air itself seemed to shimmer with an energy that made his scientific instruments behave in extraordinary ways. At precisely 11:23 p.m., the great aurora of 1891 burst across the sky in a display of such magnificent beauty that Dr. Starcross abandoned his careful note-taking and simply stared in wonder. Purple curtains of light danced overhead, forming patterns that seemed almost too organized to be natural phenomena. The aurora appeared to pulse with a rhythm that reminded Dr. Starcross of a massive heartbeat, and the air itself seemed to shimmer with an energy that made his scientific instruments behave in extraordinary ways. What happened next would haunt Dr. Starcross's dreams for the remainder of his life. Luna, transfixed by the approaching aurora stream, gathered her muscles and leaped directly toward the skylight, not in panic, but with the joyful enthusiasm of a dog bounding toward a beloved master's call. The purple light enveloped her in mid-leap, and for a moment that seemed to last an eternity, dog and aurora merged into a single blazing form of pure cosmic energy. Dr. Starcross rushed to the spot where Luna had been lying, but found only empty space and the lingering scent of ozone mixed with starlight, a combination that should have been impossible, but felt perfectly natural in that moment of cosmic transformation. The aurora continued its display for another hour, but its purple intensity gradually faded to more conventional green and blue hues. In the weeks that followed, Dr. Starcross searched frantically for any trace of his beloved companion. He examined every inch of the observatory, consulted with veterinarians and animal behaviorists, and even contacted spiritual mediums in his desperation to understand what had occurred. The scientific community assumed that Luna had simply escaped during the aurora viewing and would eventually return, but Dr. Starcross knew in his heart that something far more profound had taken place. The first indication that Luna had not simply vanished came exactly 1 month later during the November Leonid meteor shower. Dr. Starcross was conducting routine observations when a familiar purple shimmer caught his attention near his primary telescope. There, translucent but unmistakably real, sat Luna Sparklepaws. Her form glowed with soft purple light, and her fur appeared to be dusted with actual stardust that sparkled and shifted with each movement. Luna's spectral appearance lasted only a few minutes, but during that time she moved through her familiar routines, positioning herself beside various instruments, gently nudging Dr. Starcross's attention towards specific celestial coordinates, and producing a soft whining sound that seemed to harmonize with the music of the spheres themselves. When the meteor shower reached its peak intensity, she slowly faded from view, leaving behind only the faint impression of paw prints that sparkled briefly before disappearing. This became the new pattern of Luna's existence. She appeared as a ghost during significant astronomical events, lunar eclipses, planetary alignments, major meteor showers, and the passage of comets. Each manifestation revealed new details about her transformed state. The tree and moon design from the observatory skylight had somehow become permanently etched onto her spectral back, glowing softly whenever she appeared. Her eyes now held depths that seemed to contain entire galaxies, and her movements possessed an otherworldly grace, while retaining the faithful, loving nature that had defined her earthly existence. Dr. Starcross documented each appearance meticulously, noting that Luna's ghostly presence invariably coincided with his most successful observations. She continued to guide him toward astronomical discoveries, her spectral form directing his attention toward celestial phenomena that his instruments might otherwise have missed. Other astronomers who visited the observatory reported similar experiences, describing encounters with a celestial hound whose loyal guidance led to breakthrough observations. Word of Luna's posthumous appearances spread throughout the astronomical community, though most colleagues attributed the stories to Dr. Starcross's grief and the psychological effects of long hours spent in darkened observatories. However, too many independent witnesses reported similar encounters for the phenomenon to be easily dismissed as hallucination or wishful thinking. Luna's spectral presence extended beyond Dr. Starcross's observatory as her reputation grew. Amateur astronomers reported encounters with a shimmering purple dog during their nighttime observations, always appearing when they were struggling to locate particular celestial objects or when they were on the verge of making significant discoveries. Children learning about astronomy from their parents would sometimes point excitedly at seemingly empty spaces, claiming to see a sparkly puppy that adults couldn't perceive. The ghost dog seemed particularly drawn to individuals who shared her passion for the stars, those who approached astronomy not just as academic study, but as a form of spiritual communion with the universe. She appeared to stargazers who had become lost during hiking expeditions, leading them to safety with the same faithful loyalty she had shown Dr. Starcross. She manifested in planetariums during educational programs, though only sensitive individuals could perceive her presence. As decades passed and Dr. Starcross aged, Luna's appearances became more frequent and more substantial. During his final years, she would materialize almost nightly, lying beside his wheelchair as he made his last observations from the observatory, where they had shared so many discoveries. Colleagues who visited during this period noted that the elderly astronomer seemed to carry on full conversations with empty air, occasionally reaching down as if to pat an invisible companion. Dr. Starcross passed away peacefully in 1923, found the next morning slumped over his favourite telescope with an expression of serene wonder on his face. The last entry in his observation log was dated the previous evening. Luna appeared at 11:23 p.m., exactly 32 years to the minute after her transformation. She seems more solid tonight, wagging her tail with the same joy she showed in life. I believe she has come to guide me on one final journey among the stars. After Dr. Starcross's death, the observatory was converted into a museum, but Luna's appearances continued. Night watchmen reported glimpses of purple light moving through the telescope room, and visiting school groups occasionally included children who claimed to see a friendly ghost dog lying on the old observation carpet. Astronomy enthusiasts who made pilgrimages to the historic observatory sometimes experienced profound moments of connection with the cosmos while standing in the spots where Luna had once faithfully waited beside her human companion. Luna Sparklepaws exists now as a bridge between earthly devotion and celestial mystery, her spectral form carrying the memories of countless nights spent in loyal service to astronomical truth. She appears to those who approach the study of the heavens with the proper combination of scientific rigor and faithful dedication, offering guidance to seekers who understand that the universe reveals its secrets to those who wait with patient, loving hearts. Her legacy extends far beyond her original partnership with Dr. Starcross. She has become a guardian spirit for all who seek to understand their place in the cosmic order, appearing during moments when the barriers between earth and sky seem most permeable. The tree and moon symbol that adorns her spectral back has been adopted by various astronomical societies as a reminder that scientific discovery requires both earthly grounding and celestial aspiration. Luna Sparklepaws continues her eternal vigil among the stars, a faithful sentinel whose purple light bridges the gap between the mortal pursuit of knowledge and the immortal mysteries of the universe itself, forever loyal to the cosmic calling that transformed her from earthly companion to celestial guide. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our ghost story. Until next time, keep the lights low and the doors locked.